Right now, house prices are falling in major countries. China, Canada, New Zealand, all dropping. But in the US, the opposite keeps happening. Prices climb every year, and buying a home feels impossible. It makes no sense. So why does the whole world get cheaper homes and America doesn't? The good news? Someone's finally trying to fix it. The bad news? Pigeon's about to explain why that might not save you. First stop, China. Pigeon looks out at the apartment towers, thousands of them, brand new, and they actually seem nice. But look closer, the lights are off. Nobody lives there. Even the mosquitoes pack their bags. No pigeons to annoy. China went on a building spree. It built and built and built. Way too much. Whole cities standing empty, streets with no footsteps, so prices have been sliding for years now. A former Chinese official said it best. Even 1.4 billion pigeons couldn't fill them all. Over 50 million empty apartments and maybe way more, built for buyers who never showed up. Too many houses, too few pigeons, and prices drop. Now, let's look at Canada. Do they have the same problem? Well, not really. Canada didn't build too much. They just ran out of pigeons. For years it welcomed newcomers to fill its homes. Then it slammed the door shut. Immigration got cut hard, and population growth slowed to almost nothing. The country actually shrank. Roughly 100,000 pigeons gone. First drop in about half a century. Fewer pigeons means fewer buyers, and when nobody's fighting over a house, the price drops. New Zealand followed the same path. Prices down as much as a quarter from the peak. It's their longest slump in decades, so the world is finally getting its crash. It's like everyone got Black Friday, but pigeons showed up on Saturday. China ended up with too many houses. Canada and New Zealand ended up with too few pigeons. Two different problems, but same result. Prices fall. And Pigeon? Pigeon's at the window, nose pressed to the glass, watching everyone else get cheaper homes. Like a starving pigeon watching a picnic he wasn't invited to. Come on, give Pigeon one little crash here. So what's going on in America? Why is it the one country where prices just won't fall? The US doesn't have either disease. Remember China with too many houses? America did the exact opposite and stopped building. For more than 10 years, it built too few homes. No flood of empty towers here. Okay, so maybe it lost its pigeons like Canada? Nope, the opposite again. America's biggest buying generation is still on the way. They've been almost ready to buy a house since skinny jeans were cool. Millennials, the largest group of adults in the whole country, millions of them right in their prime home buying years, and they've heard the same line for a decade. Wait, live with your parents a little longer, rent for now, keep saving. Your savings account will grow up big and strong someday, but we all know it won't. Pigeon watched one finance video. Apparently he just needed to stop buying coffee. Whatever. So pigeons wait in their childhood bedrooms under the same posters from high school, and the demand keeps growing. A whole generation pressed against a door that won't open. Now put it together. For a crash, you need one of two things. Too many houses or too few pigeons. America has too few houses and way too many pigeons who want them. So the crash Pigeon's been praying for isn't coming. So who's actually winning here? The pigeons who already bought. The older ones who got in when houses were cheap. For them, this isn't a crisis, it's a jackpot. Every year prices climb, their nest gets more valuable. The mailbox is building wealth. Pigeon is building anxiety. A house stopped being a place to live and became a bet that keeps paying out. So they're not exactly praying for cheaper homes. Meanwhile, millions of young pigeons just need a roof. So if the houses are missing, where did they all go? Pigeon puts on his detective hat. Somebody ate the houses and Pigeon wants a name. To understand it, we have to go back to 2008. The housing market blew up and home building fell off a cliff. In 2005, the US started about 2.1 million homes a year. By 2009, around 554,000, almost a quarter of what it was. Builders went bankrupt overnight, cranes stopped, job sites went silent, and half-finished neighborhoods just sat there. Then came the part nobody talks about. The workers left. About 1 million construction workers walked away and they never came back. They found steadier jobs, and who can blame them? Meanwhile, young pigeons watched the whole trade implode, so they didn't join it either. Why learn to build houses nobody's building? It's like opening a Blockbuster in 2026. fewer hands on the tools, and fewer old pros left to train the new ones. So when demand finally came roaring back, there was nobody left to swing the hammer. But wait, there's a second thief: zoning laws. In most American cities, about 75% of the land for housing only allows one single house per lot. No little apartment building, no stacking a few families to share the land. Even an empty patch of dirt legally cannot become more than one house. The land is sitting right there, and the law just says no. Add it all up. The US is now short about 4 million homes, and the hole gets deeper every single year. It's like trying to buy Taylor Swift tickets, except the concert lasts 30 years. So Pigeon puts on his detective hat again, hunting for the villain. Greedy investors buying everything up? He checks the numbers. Nope, doesn't add up. Immigrants taking all the houses? He checks again. Nope, not that either. Pigeon really wants a face here, and that's the scary part. There's nobody standing there. Wait, Pigeon turns his head. There is one place nobody's looking: the pigeons who write the rules. For 15 years, they had the power to fix this. Drop the silly zoning laws, pay builders to build, make room for more than one house per lot. And for 15 years, they did nothing. So has anyone finally woken up? So what are the rule-making pigeons finally doing about it? Turns out, somebody finally did. In July 2026, a new law showed up: the 21st Century Road to Housing Act. Ugly name, but it's the first real federal housing law in decades. And here's the clever part: give pigeons cash to buy homes? They just bid higher and prices go up. So this law skips that. It goes after the actual problem: building. Turns out the cure for not having enough houses was more houses. Who writes this stuff? The law leans hard on those zoning laws. Build denser, you get grant money. Keep blocking it, you get less. For once, the money follows the houses. It also goes after cheaper homes, the factory-built kind. There was this old rule where every manufactured home needed a permanent metal frame. Dead weight, adding cost for no reason. The law scraps it, and that alone could cut thousands off the cost. Cheaper to build means cheaper to buy. Finally, a law aimed at the real hole. Oh, and one more thing. This law had a hater, the top pigeon himself. The president refused to sign it, crossed his little wings, wouldn't put his name anywhere near it. Didn't matter one bit. So many in Congress voted yes that it became law without him, automatically 10 days later, right over his head. The boss said no, and the law just shrugged and passed anyway. Overruled by his own team. I love it. So Pigeon starts to hope. Maybe the houses are finally coming. Maybe there's a way out of the window. He picks up the law and starts reading the small print, and the hope starts leaking out. Here's what the small print says. Building 4 million homes takes time, decades. One single permit can drag on for a year, sometimes longer. You need land, workers, and money. And you need to train a whole new generation to build. That alone takes years. The law basically admits it. This is a slow fix. By the time it's finished, Pigeon's knees will make that sound when he stands up. So the medicine is real. It just works painfully slow. And somebody pays for that slowness. The pigeons who cannot wait 30 years, young pigeons trying to start a life, lower income families doing everything right, saving, applying, getting outbid. They're getting hurt right now. They needed a home this year, not in 2050. So the crash Pigeon prayed for was never his way out, because his country doesn't have the disease that causes crashes. There's no bubble here to pop. There's just a shortage built quietly over 15 years, and a shortage doesn't crash. It just sits there, expensive, heavy, going nowhere. So Pigeon looks out the window one more time at the empty lot across the street where a house should be, while he keeps sharing a small apartment with 6 other pigeons. And if you want to know why Gen Z gave up on having kids, click the video on screen now. Subscribe to support Pigeon. Maybe he'll buy a house one day.